How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Say Let's Do More. I'm Oche Dunmore, and we're back. The first episode, I really just wanted to take things back, introduce myself for those who don't know me, for those who do know me. Relive some of the trials and tribulations here a little bit, give you guys a better scope of my life, my history, where I came from, what I'm doing. I want to give a thanks to my sponsor, Bar de Timon, Sprintco, Wear Your Game. Make sure you check out sprintco.com. Shinarai Motorcycles here in Brazil. Big shout out to all my sponsors. I hope you enjoy the content. Like, subscribe, share, comment, help get the word out so we can keep these videos coming. I come from the Pacific Northwest of the United States, middle school and high school in Oregon. Really humble beginnings. My dad was involved with a lot of gangs, drugs and violence. My dad was like a pimp. My dad was a pimp. I don't know how else to put it. You can understand the effect that had on the entire family. It was not very traditional. My mom was a very young individual at the time, young lady, and she was a single mother, doing the best job that she could. One of the best attributes to my mom that my mom had was, I think, her composure. There was such a long time that we were living like bad situations, but we never knew it. Because of how like poised she was. She always had like a sense to her that was like calm, cool, and collected. I quickly found out, like, especially in college, when you go to college, there's a lot of people from a lot of different socioeconomic backgrounds, different parts of the country. Some people were more well off than others and whatnot. You start to quickly see that like everybody's upbringing was not the same, right? But it's very interesting to me that like with such dramatic upbringings, we still got to like the same place, right? So very interesting time growing up. I think I got some thick skin, obviously a competitive nature, always been a leader because of, being the oldest of my brothers and sisters with a single mom. There's a lot of responsibility that I was given at a young age. So, I was big brother and I was pops, I had a lot of responsibility and I accepted it at a young age. I think I handled it pretty well, carried it well, obviously made a ton of mistakes along the way, but it's part of life. That's the best experience or best teacher that you have. In life is your own experiences. So I feel blessed to have had a ton of experiences and feel extremely rich in education when he makes choices. Life is about choices. Unfortunately, some choices that we make, we can't always recover from, or we can't always recuperate the damage that we did. But I think it's an important thing for everybody to think about and remember that, life is about choices. Hopefully we make a lot more good choices than bad choices. But at the end of the day, it's about choices. I had like a unique experience. Like I lived with my dad for a little bit in Chicago, and like me and my brother were like the only light skin or like white kids in like the schools that we would go to. All the schools we went to, we'd like have to like prove that we were black every day, right? They had a lot of like colorism. If you were lighter, a lot of people assume that you've had a better black experience, let's say, in life. So when I was in these schools that were in these cities that were more predominantly black, almost like a reverse racism or like I felt like the segregation, like I felt like a minority, even though I'm black, but I wasn't black enough. It was a struggle to find my identity at this time. So it was like a struggle to figure out who I really was. And once I started to really come into like a character or start to embrace who I was. My father went to prison for murder, and that was kind of like it with him. So I knew that, it was time. We were obviously going to move or do something. Something was going to change again. I left from with my dad. I went back with my mom. I was like the only black kid. Me and my brother were the only black kids in like 5 districts. Anywhere we went, we were the only black kids. So it was like the complete opposite. And like, almost like being black now was like too much, and like it was intimidating for people or get me in trouble if I wore my like hair in an afro and I took my pick and kept my pick in my hair and I had like a metal pick. I got suspended from school one time because I had a metal pick in my afro and they thought it was a weapon, or they said it was a weapon. So at some point I even cut my afro, like kind of struggle with identity there, new environment, obviously coming back to live with my mom, mixed feelings and whatnot as far as our relationship and how that was. And it was a challenging time for me growing up. Luckily, in the time that I was living with my dad, I started playing football. mostly just to stay out of the house. You know, I didn't want to be home. You know, the home was a pretty toxic environment. Um, I wasn't, I didn't feel safe, and I didn't feel at peace or anything while I was there. So I was doing whatever I could to just not go home. And so I went to the Boys and Girls Club. I would do theater. I'd do band. I would do any activity possible. Play basketball. I didn't even have basketball shoes. I was playing in like church slip-on church shoes, and everybody would just roast my ass because I would like run and I'd try and stop and I would slide because my shoes were like velvet on the bottom. I didn't have grip, and I was playing on like a dusty ass gym floor. So I'd get roasted. I'm playing in like my school uniform, shorts, church socks, and church shoes. My reality, you know what I'm saying? Until my father went to jail, and then I was able to go live back with my mom. But yeah, I played football and basketball my first seasons. There wasn't even really a dream yet. It was just like a, you know, a young kid having fun, just having fun, looking for an escape. And that's what I found. Passion in football. I went back, I lived with my mom, minorities once again. And it was a small town. I was like in the inner city Chicago with like thousands of kids at my school. And I came to like Newport, Oregon with like 10,000 people in the whole town. I had like 400, 500 kids in my school. It was insane. And so like it was a big adjustment, challenging mentally, emotionally. There was a lot going on in my head. I was confused about what was going on with my dad, the relationship I had with my mom. Grateful for the success I did have there and the relationships I did cultivate there. Ran track and field there as well. I was at decathlete. So for those of you who don't know what a decathlete does, 10 events: 100-meter dash, 110 high hurdle, long jump, high jump, shot put, discus, javelin, pole vault, the 400-meter and the 1,500-meter. So how I came into the decathlon, we have a limit of 4 events. And I was like, man, like 4 events, I would do like high jump, the 100-meter dash, because everybody did the 100-meter dash. I'd do like long jump, or I would do like one of the throws actually. So like discus, and then I would run like the 400 of the relay at the end of the track meet. So I'd do like 2 or 3 events in the first hour of the track meet. And for those of you who've never been to a track meet before, it's all day. It's all day. I do like all of my events in like the first hour, and then I'd have to like wait for like one event at the end of the day. So I felt for the kids who only did like one event. I needed to do as much stuff as possible. So my coach had the bright idea one day, he put me into one meet as a decathlete. Shout out Kurt Dale Hargett, got 3,000 points, which is like insane. It was like nice. It put me in like a national like ranking as my first decathlon ever. Obviously we knew that like track and field was a strong suit for me. Being a multi-sport athlete, after my second game, my sophomore season, Chip Kelly calls me. It's like, hey, what's going on? Like Chip Kelly, and I'm already like, saw your tape, interested, and we're gonna offer you a full ride scholarship. Just took off, laps around the school, like juiced. This is my dream school. Like it's the school where Nike was created. For those of you who don't know, Waffle Iron was created. Steve Prefontaine got some real cool history at the University of Oregon and learned some culture. Got a couple bowl rings. It was an awesome time. So we'll get into those stories too. I'm very grateful for everything that I was able to learn and absorb, and the relationships I've got from that time. Once I got a college scholarship, you know, things started happening for us a little bit better, because I got an interesting backstory with my career in college as well. But everywhere I went, I won. So Google me. Obviously way different, because, you know, in high school, everybody's a superstar, right? If you're playing and you're a good athlete, you're a scholarship athlete, you're winning state championships and whatnot. I was winning like state championships in track and field since my freshman year. I was like 16-time state champion or something. I had a lot of state championships in track and field. I thought I had a lot of potential in it, so I stuck with it. It wasn't my passion, but it was something I was good at, and it was something I enjoyed. So I stuck with it. Football was my passion. Football was different for me because I played at a small school, so I could do whatever I wanted. I had a lot of control of the spread offense, but really all I did was run to the left or to the right and read a defense, like where's the most people. Like, you don't have to be very smart to play football. The smart ones that do play football last. The idea was to make the game easy for me and just let me dominate with my athletic ability. I did most of high school. I didn't really know formations. I didn't know concepts. I didn't know how to read things. I didn't really know the terminology of football, which is one of the most important things you need once you step into like an elite. Yeah, once I got to college, I was playing quarterback actually for a little bit. The same year is Marcus Mariota. Athlete is what they recruited me as, but I was playing quarterback, so I obviously thought I was going to come in and play quarterback. I'm not understanding the whole recruiting depth chart and stuff. I was really naive as a student athlete. Really new. I didn't watch a lot of the game. I was just good at the game. I wasn't like a diehard like college football fan or NFL fan or anything like that. I was really just kind of naturally gifted at the game, so I kind of gravitated toward more higher and higher levels and more elite competition as I got older. But I wasn't like a student, and you needed to be that at the Division I level. And once I got to Oregon, I had some great coaches. They challenged me in the film room and they made me accountable, and they created a confidence within me that made you feel responsible and proactive for your own success. So you look for people who would help you study. You would look to find different ways to study. You would ask questions that were different. You would articulate things in meetings, and you wouldn't run away from criticism, which I think was one of the biggest things I learned. Because, first year, I'm hiding in the film room. I don't want to mess up. Anytime I messed up, and you messed up, you got burnt, or you dropped a pass, or something happened, and you messed up. There's a good three to five clips in there. Man, you were like sweating. It's like play 25, play 25's coming. Play 23 pulls up, play 24, and you're like sitting there, damn, you might even get up and go to the bathroom. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. Nah, sit down, Dunmore. Yeah, we're gonna talk about this play. Learning how to take criticism, accept criticism, and ultimately want criticism. And they wanna critique you to make you the best that they possibly can. So once you have that same mentality and you can kind of get that on the same track, make some real special things happen. I learned a lot of X's and O's, learned the game of football schematically, a lot of different methodologies and perspectives of the game, but most of all, I learned how to study the game, learned how to train, and I learned what it takes to be a champion of negotiable. There's no negotiations when it comes to, being successful at a very high level. There's a certain recipe for the success, and that's the only way. There's no cutting corners. There's no substitutes. There's only one way to do certain things. So I was fortunate enough to be a part of a great process, a great group of guys who learned how to follow a process and apply the principles to be very successful. So great time at the University of Oregon. After I transferred, I actually got into some mischief. During the time I was playing football, you weren't allowed to make any money. There was not any NIL. There's the opposite, the NCAA clearinghouse, to make sure that we're not making any wrong moves, or also to look for any wrong moves that have been made, right? I made a few mistakes in my younger days, but one of the final mistake while I was at Oregon, I had a pair of collectible shoes that they give to all the players. It was the Foamposites, and they only give them to the football players, and like they got a lot of people that we call shoe heads. They love shoes and sneakers, limited edition collectors, things like that. And we found a buyer, right? At the time, I didn't come from a wealthy family at all. Came from a more poor family, low middle class family. So any type of extra money you could make was a plus. I've never paid a whole lot for a pair of sneakers. So when somebody offers me something like $3,000, a couple $1,000 for a pair of sneakers, or you can have these. Long story short, got in trouble selling my sneakers. NCAA violation. Boy, I had to keep it moving. I landed on my feet in Bloomington, Normal, Illinois. I went to the Illinois State University, Redbirds. We had a great season out there. I had a good time out there. It was different. It was cold as hell, a lot of snow. I remember Coach Spat was a head coach. He was always on my ass about he would always call me soft, like a soft hippie boy from Eugene, Oregon or some shit. I'm like, why do I gotta be a soft hippie boy? Because I'm from the Northwest. The thing was, it was cold. It was like -10, like 2 feet of snow and like 3 inches of ice on the ground. We're like going outside with our cleats on and like running and sliding on the turf, the frozen turf. And if we slid like more than a couple feet, then it was like too icy to practice. But if we could like kind of crack through the ice a little bit, we were practicing. And I was cold as hell, and I'd complain in the locker room sometimes. Once we're on the field, I'm good to go. Let's go. Wear like a hoodie. I'm talking sweatshirt and sweatpants. And I didn't even wear football gloves no more. I got snowboarding gloves. No interceptions. It was tackles and PBUs, and I was proud of it. I was not doing it. Man, it was so cold. I had some cold games. When you get into frozen sleet, like tundra, now you'll understand what real cold is. Like, I was cold. And I would wear like these hoodies, like a mask and stuff. Like, football stuff, except for my snowboarding gloves. And he would call me soft. Take this shit off. Take this shit off, Denmark. You little soft, soft ass hippie boy. Oh, I'm like, bro, this is like Under Armour, like cold gear. They made this like for football players to wear in the snow, in the cold. The gear for the cold. The hell? Leave me alone, bro. Cold as hell, bro. You tripping, bro. You ain't even. He got snowboarding gloves on too, and 2 hoodies and a jacket and a beanie, hand warmers. You talking about I'm soft? With all due respect, Spack. But we had a cool ass team, man. If you guys know Tevin Allen, sorry to drop the government, but Gold Feet Entertainment. Shout out to my boy, man. But yeah, it'd be 100 and some degrees. We're out there doing extra ladders after practice. TA talking about let's record this. I'm like, bro, listen, my feet hurt, man. We got to get this work. So shout out TA, man. Illinois State. We're out there. We had a great season. Played against Carson Wentz in the Natty. Unfortunately, we lost. Dakota State got like their 5th national title in a row on us. So we're in the history books, but for the wrong thing. Great experience, fun process, great group of guys again. Have some great memories and a lot of guys that I still talk to this day from that time in my life. I ended up transferring back after a season with some eligibility. Left, I came to Southern Oregon University in the Rogue Valley in Ashland, Oregon. Like on survival mode, I had to like wait like 3 months until like financial aid kicked in. So I was like broke. And like, bruh, I'm like living off like fruits and nuts, like apple and cherry trees. Like I kid you not, like I had like a cafeteria on campus, but you needed like a card, like a meal plan. I didn't have a meal plan. So like, I would like hop the gate, like sneak in, like, or have my homie like open up the back door so I could come in and get like a meal, but I could only do it like once a day. Insane experience there. We were the most winningest team in history. Small college football is just real special, you know, because not a lot of guys are there playing because of the money. The reality is that probably very few of the guys in NIA are going to get even a chance to go and play in the league, you know. So the majority of those guys are playing 4 years of football for pure joy and pure passion, the love of the sport, knowing that it could end at any point and they want to get squeeze as much juice out of it as possible. So a lot of love and respect for those guys, you know, come out of high school and do 4 or 5 years, small college ball. You know, I knew guys that were sleeping in their car, working an all-night shift, and then sleeping in their car for a few hours in the parking lot and then coming to train and practicing and doing that all year long, like, and still like balling. So like, there's some dogs out there, some great characters, great stories in those locker rooms. So Southern Oregon was a good time. Coach Howard, those guys, the staff that he had out there was, you know, all time. After I got out of Southern Oregon, I went to a few tryouts, did my pro day at Portland State. Didn't really get a look. Out of nowhere, you know, I was like ready. I was in shape. I found an opportunity to take a tryout in Albany, New York. Went out there, balled out, or left my apartment with all of my suitcases on a plane, slid, went to New York. I passed the tryout, got accepted on the tryout. They're like, yeah, if you can hang out, we're gonna start camp next week. So get to camp early there in Albany. So I went to camp, and at the time it was only like a 4 or 5 team league. The team was just filled, the league before had like 16 teams or something. The whole league was reduced to 4 teams, so it's all veterans, 4 21-man rosters, and I'm trying to make the roster, you know, I'm trying to ball. So I ended up being one of the few rookies in like the whole league. There was not a lot of guys that came out of college like first year in arena that were like on teams. Like I think every team may have kept like maybe 1 or 2 guys. A new game. I was learning the game and like trying to make a team, like make my first pro team. I ended up making the team. It was fun. We were balling. We were the #1 team playing DB and receiver. I was having a lot of fun just learning the game. Get to like a game or 2 before playoffs and they trade me to DC. So like I left Albany. We were 10-2, #1 team in the league. Traded me to DC. DC was 2-10. They were the worst team in the league. I'm like, God damn, bro. I thought it was peachy. Really thinking it's sugar. Nah. Washington, D.C., man. The first day of practice I get in there, man, the coach is fighting players. I'm fighting players, like squaring up, not even like during practice. Like this is like pre-practice. Everybody's hanging out, talking, it's off. I walk in, what? They're throwing hands before practice? What are we doing? Like crazy, like craziest environments I've ever been in on sports, for sure. So like I came in and like in the next 3 days, like the coach was fired. Half the team was fired and they put like new guys on the team. We had like a whole new team in like 3 days, like a week. So after that, we started balling. We hit the playoffs, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. We're sliding playoffs. Beat the first round. Second round, we got Albany. Oh yeah, we get to play against the former team, and they put me in. I'm gonna find the clip too. Put me in. I'm starting this game. First play of the game, Tommy Grady, not Tom Brady. Tom Grady. Yeah, that's a real name, real quarterback, and he was like that. He was like the quarterback of the Arena League. Tries to try me with CT. Man, he comes in high motion. I'm a middleman. I'm playing safety. This is the craziest thing. So I'm down there. I'm like, I'm a pressing. Fuck it. I'm not about to backpedal with this dude at high motion. So I get on the line. I'm pressing. Contact. They throw the ball up. Red zone. Your boy does what? High point. Let's go get it. Yes, sir. First play of the playoffs against my former team. Got me a pick to turn that thing up. Here. Play the clip. We ended up winning. We beat Albany at home and at their place. Then we went on to play Baltimore, beat Baltimore in the World Championship, and you know your boy got that. We got that ring. We got that ring. I'm gonna have to tell you the story about my ring later, but I got my ring. I got my ring. We were under the same ownership as the Capitals, and the Capitals won the Stanley Cup, the championship for the hockey, damn it. The DC Mystics won the women's basketball championship, and the DC Valor won the arena football. So we were lit. It was all in like the same like month. We were so lit in DC, like we went like 2 weeks, like binge brunches and tables. So shout out Ted. That was fun. That was fun. So I'm looking at places to go. I'm like, man, I'm not about to go home. So I started looking on Euro players. Check it out. Any athletes that are at in America, anywhere really in the world. You're trying to look to play, keep playing, go to europlayers.com, make you a profile, upload your bio, upload your videos, stay on it because of the time zones and whatnot. People are on there at different times, teams and coaches. But promote yourself. Be active, proactive. Promote yourself. It was going to be like Italy, Spain, Switzerland, or Turkey. And I was pretty set on Spain because it was like on the beach, it's close to Barcelona. And out of nowhere, this team in João Pessoa, Brazil, hit me up and was like, yeah, we liked your film, interested, blah, blah, blah. So I looked up João Pessoa, I put it in Google. When I put it in Google, this popped up. I'm like, okay, we got like a hotel, some palm trees and whatnot. But it looks kind of like a desert beach. Like there ain't a lot going on. There ain't like buildings and stuff. I'm like, I don't even know if I see a street. Hell yeah, I'm trying to go. This looks like the Amazon or something. It's hard, yes. Talked to them on like a Sunday. I think Wednesday I had my visa. Friday I was on the plane. I'm flying to Brazil. In my mind, I download Duolingo first off and speak no Portuguese. I have no idea. Like real talk, I'm thinking I'm going to the Amazon, like close to the Amazon rainforest. I'm going to like where it's gonna be like, I don't know, like I'm thinking I'm going to the woods type of thing. I ain't bring no electronics because I'm like, there ain't no way, like even if we do got some electricity, I'm sure they want to like save it and whatnot. So like I didn't bring no white clothes. Like I'm not gonna have no washing machine. I ain't gonna be able to wash. I'm gonna be washing shit in the river. I'm ready to walk through the woods with like a machete on like a trail type of thing. Like that's what I wanted to do. I'm on like some Ricky Williams. Like we just want to chip. I'm finna go live in a tent for a while. Like I'm really about to go get in touch. Once I got here, I flew into Recife and it was at night when I landed. So like, I wasn't really paying attention when I'm landing. It's like cloudy and whatnot. So I didn't get a view of the like city from above when I did land. It's raining and whatnot. It's dark. Like after I landed, I had to drive to João Pessoa, which is like an hour and a half. It's like 95 kilometers from Recife. If anybody's driven from like Recife to João Pessoa at night, there's not shit. It's just like you're on like a dark highway. Every now and then there's like a gas station or something like that, but ain't nothing open. And then like there's like not really houses and stuff. There's not really a lot of residentials. There ain't none of that like in between here. There's like one city between here and João Pessoa. Well, like there's a couple cities, but like once you get like out of the metro area here, it's crazy. It's just like pitch black and the highway ain't lit up or nothing. So I'm like looking, I'm like, all right, now I'm rethinking this whole situation about living in the woods because it's dark as hell. And I'm like looking way off in the mountains. I see like a little light, like a cabins and stuff. I'm like, I pray to God my village is up there because I need like some light. I can't do this. My eyes ain't even adjusting. It's so damn dark out here. Get to João Pessoa finally. I'm like, okay, yeah, now, okay, I'm seeing some stuff. It's a little bit more like residential area. There's like a restaurant and stuff. There's All right, so I get up out the car, get into the room. As I get into the room, one of my roommates is Lennon. Anybody who knows Lennon, my Brazilians who know Lennon, this man doesn't snore. He has like, he does construction. Like, like the sounds that he was emitting, I'm like, bro, what is going on? I don't speak Portuguese, mind you. This dude is like 7 feet, 7 foot and a little bit, and he's 400 pounds. He's maybe not 400, but he's a humongous human being. And he's like we're like sharing a room, and I'm like, bro, what do I do? Like, I gotta do something. I can't take this anymore. Like, I gotta at least like close my eyes a little bit. We have a game, mind you, in the morning, 15 hours north. I got like 3 hours until we have to leave, mind you. And this dude's, I like grabbed a pillow, threw it at him. Nothing. I'm like, damn. All right, well, only thing I got, I ain't have no Havaiana. I didn't have no sandal at the time, so the only thing I had was a tennis shoe. I'm gonna throw it at his feet then. Man, I threw it over there at the wall, kind of bounced off the wall and hit his feet, and I should have threw it at his head. Still wouldn't have woke up. Bet you he still wouldn't have woke up. So I was like, bro, I gotta get out of here. So I like got up and went to the living room, bro. There was a mafia of mosquitoes in the damn living room, eating me alive. I didn't understand about mosquitoes in Brazil are gangsters. Like, they're no joke. They fight back. Like you try and swat at one of them. There's one right there. You swat at one of them, they come back at you. And they go and recruit. They gonna go grab like 2 or 3 homies, and they gonna come back at you. And like 2 are gonna go at your head, and one's gonna go at your ankle. Man, they know how to. I swear they be working in teams. And then I was out in the living room, and I could still hear bro snoring, bro. I'm like, God damn. Played in João Pessoa. I did this like back and forth in João Pessoa. From João Pessoa, I went back to DC. And back from DC, I came to Recife. From Recife, Jacksonville. From Jacksonville, I came back to Recife. Just around, went to like Belo Horizonte. Came back to Recife. Then we had the lockdown, pandemic and whatnot. Back to Jacksonville again. After I lived in the pandemic, I left again. I went to Switzerland. That was a crazy, crazy, crazy time as well. Went to Switzerland, got to travel around. We played in a lot of countries. Turkey, went to Italy, Germany, France, some time in Portugal. It was so much fun. The thing about Europe is so cool. It's so accessible. So like, I wish I was doing a lot more content at this time, because I did like a lot of cool trips, runner-ups in the nationals or in the Swiss Bowl. Played there for, the season. I ended up getting hurt. I broke my leg. Came back for the playoffs. We got to the championship, and I like opened my leg in the semifinal game. I'm doing like a kick return, go up the sideline, and the dude like kicks me, like trips me, and we hit like shin to shin. And you seen like Anderson Silva when he like cut his whole shin open. Yeah, that was me, bro. I cut my shin all the way to my bone, and I'm just like, bro, are you serious? 20 stitches. I went and played like the next week on like real questionable conditions. I had like 20 stitches, just wrapped it up in like a gel spray. Switzerland has some crazy technology. So I got ejected. I got offensive targeting, and I was a kick returner. Like, how am I targeting? I'm protecting myself, and there's 11 anyway. Got kicked out of the national title game in the third quarter. That was cool. Came back to Brazil and been living happily ever after since, right? I had a big pivotal point in my life happen recently while I was here in Brazil, and it inspired me to, share my story, get my perspective on some things, and, just start showing the world through my eyes. I've been living out here in Brazil for 8 years, 9 years now. And I speak fluent Portuguese, falo português de boas. Took a little while to learn, obviously, but with ambition, with persistency and dedication, anything is really possible. Recently, while I was living here in the center of the city of Recife, my house caught fire while I was out one night. Fortunately, I was not at the house, and nobody was hurt during the incident. I returned after a call from one of my neighbors telling me that my apartment was on fire. When I got home, I had some of these scenes here. I have some images and videos. I got upstairs, ran upstairs to try and see if I could save anything. Everything was just going up in a blaze. Everything happened like kind of so fast. Really felt helpless. One of the few times in my life I felt like real like helpless, kind of like, man, what do I do? It's like 2 a.m. My house is completely burnt. I don't have like anything. My phone's on like 2%. This is crazy. So yeah, starting from ground zero here in Recife. Luckily, along my travels, You know, I've been able to make some good impressions on people. I've made some good friends, some distant family, and done my part, to treat people as good as possible uh, on this ride. And this period where it's a real pivotal time in my life, a time where everything was really taken from me, materially speaking. Um, I've had a good tribe, a good team of people out here, domestic and foreign, that have been, showing love and helping out, helping me get back on my feet. So I appreciate all of you. Officially, I haven't really had a time to say thank you to everybody. So, obrigado for pelo meus brasileiros que me ajudaram. And thank you for all my American friends and European friends and family who have shown support, kindness, helped spread the word, and have been there for me with this process to recovery and getting my life back on track. So yeah, once I came back from Switzerland, I've been kind of establishing myself here in Recife. I like teach English. I play with the Recife Mariners. We do flag football, and we have a dev team. We have women's, children's flag football, men's flag football as well as full contact, full pads football as well. I'm working with this organization for since 2019, and they've shown nothing but love. They've helped me out. I've helped them out. It's been a real give and take relationship, and really proud of the work that we've done here in the community in the city. We've helped grow the brand and gained a lot of fans. Brought a national title, a Brazilian national title to the city, which was awesome. It was a great thing to be a part of. Had a lot of fun, and we're just continuously building. Right, we have some great goals. We have some big goals as far as like creating a facility here that we can facilitate American sports, culture, languages, and a lot of social projects. That is one of our biggest goals. I'll put a link in the bio as well for anybody who's interested in helping, who's got connections, that's interested in sponsorships, or just want to get involved and be a part of the team in some way, shape, or form. I'll leave the contact information for the Recife Mariners on the bottom. All help is appreciated, and we're doing some cool things out here, and hopefully with the strengthening of this infrastructure, we're able to change and save some lives. As we do know, sports saves lives. So I will be producing more content to show you guys, what my life is like on a daily basis, what my routine is like on some days throughout the week, for you guys to have an idea what my life is like professionally, what my life is like socially, what my life is like spiritually, and I think it'll be interesting. So I'm excited to share with you guys. I hope you guys are excited as well. Thank you guys. You got to learn a little bit more about me, and stay tuned. We got some more stuff coming up soon. Say, let's do more.